Welcome to GameSack. This time around, we're going to talk about some underrated games.
Yeah, now these games aren't bad games, and they may have been a bit popular even, but we feel they should get more love than they do.
A bit popular and get more love? That sounds like me, Joe.
Ew. Anyway, what game should we look at first, Dave?
I'd like to take a look at Pikmin on the GameCube.
Let's take a look.
Despite being a million seller, this game doesn't get the recognition that it deserves. That's why I'm here. The first Pikmin game gives a boost to the real-time strategy genre. You are Olimar, and your ship breaks apart and crash lands over a strange planet.
Serves them right.
Well, you control 3 different colored Pikmin. They love you and will gladly go to their doom just because you bid them to.
I like seeing them die. I like tossing them in the water.
Each color Pikmin has different abilities that is required to open up every part of a game's level, or is needed to help defeat the different enemies and bosses. You have 30 days to collect all parts of your ship. If not, then Olimar dies from lack of oxygen.
Wait. If he fixed his ship on day 30 and blasted off, wouldn't he still run out of oxygen during the journey back home?
Well, duh, Joe, that's because one of the parts you collect turns vaporous gas into oxygen. Sheesh. Anyways, you obtain Pikmin by collecting pellets. Each is color coordinated and tells how many Pikmin will be needed to carry it back to the Pikmin's pod. Defeated creatures also can be used to create more Pikmin. Once Pikmin seeds are in the ground, how long you leave them in the ground determines the strength and speed of Pikmin when harvested. A green leaf Pikmin will be slow and weak, whereas a full flower Pikmin will be fast and strong.
Hey now, that actually does kind of sound like a cool concept.
Yeah, definitely. Controlling these little bastards is very fun and satisfying, especially when you stick a horde of them on an unsuspecting creature and they lay waste to it immediately.
Oh, poor little snail thing.
Aww. You can control up to 100 Pikmin at one time.
Damn, this game sure puts a lot of sprites on screen at once. I thought the Genesis was powerful. It could do 80 sprites, but the GameCube can do more than 100? Wow!
I think this game wasn't as popular as it could have been is because the characters were too cute and there was a huge lack of blood, sex, and overall violence which everybody craves. Plus, it didn't help when Miyamoto stated he got the idea from this game while working in his garden.
Or perhaps because it wasn't a Mario or Zelda game. Nintendo fans hate new IPs.
True dat. Anyways, this game was later released on the Wii as New Play Control Pikmin.
Wow, Dave, Pikmin really is an interesting game, but it sure isn't for everybody.
Yeah, you're right, it isn't for everybody, but, people should at least check it out.
Well, now that we've shown it on GameSack, a couple dozen more people know about it now.
Wow, a couple dozen? We have that many subscribers?
Yep.
I thought we were at -5 still.
Oh, no, not anymore.
Anyways, Joe, it's your turn, and what game do you think needs more love?
I'm thinking Ghostbusters on the Genesis doesn't get nearly enough love.
I agree, that's a nice one. Let's take a look.
Ghostbusters on the Genesis is much better than those old, crusty Activision versions. It's made by Compile, makers of Musha and the Puyo Puyo series. Now, the game has 3 selectable characters which bear a similar resemblance to those people that starred in the movie that was based on this game.
I'm pretty sure the movie was first, Joe.
Well, yeah, I guess that's the case.
And one other thing, where's Winston? Why isn't he selectable? Is Compile a bunch of racists or something?
I don't know why he isn't in there. Maybe it's because he wasn't one of the original founders of the Ghostbusters? Honestly, it is a legitimate gripe. He should be in there. Anyway, this game is extremely fun. It's also one of the few games that I feel is best played with a joystick like the Sega Arcade Power Stick.
Oh yeah, a controller with rapid fire, Joe, that would be very helpful in this game.
Basically, you go around to these giant houses and apartments and fight little ghosts and possess objects and whatnot. You can capture the ghosts of mid-bosses and then fight a final boss of each level. You use the money from that to buy objects and weapons, and then you choose your next stage to go to. The music is really nice. Most of it is original, but the title theme is from the movie.
Yeah, but for some reason they didn't include the vocal track to the song. My guess is because of Compile's blatant racism, since the singer was Ray Parker Jr.
Well, the game was only 4 mega power, so that would be my guess for not including the singing voice.
Well, that, and it would probably sound horrible due to the Genesis sound chip, which, as everyone knows, cannot do good voices at all.
This is one of my favorite early Genesis games, and everyone really should check it out. And there you have it, one of my favorite early action platformers for the Genesis.
That is a good one. But now, how about an early action strategy game for the Genesis?
Like what?
Gain Ground. Woo boy!
Let's check it out.
Gain Ground is a 1 or 2 player overhead action strategy game originally released in the arcades.
Yeah, it was released in the arcades first where it could actually control 3 players at a time, but it got a few ports.
It did, but we'll show those later. Let's focus on the Genesis version right now. Object is to destroy all enemies on screen or get your characters to the exit one at a time. Certain levels have captive characters that need to be rescued by collecting them and bringing them to the exits. If you collect a captive and kill the last enemy on screen, you lose the captive you just captured.
Well, that sure doesn't make any sense, though I guess it does add to the strategy.
The strategy comes into play because each stage has different enemy positions, either on ground or above ground or behind solid objects. You can have up to 20 different characters, each with different abilities to get the job done. For example, the elf who is fairly quick moving and can toss arrows up high and along the ground in all 8 directions, making him a very versatile character. Or there is a fire knight who is somewhat slow with a short regular 8-directional shot and a long-range magic shot that goes along the ground north only, but the whole distance of the screen. This game has some decent music that fits the game really well, but is repeated every stage of a level. It's a fairly basic looking game with some decent colors.
Your characters sure are small. And where are the awesome 16-bit scrolling graphic effects? In the PC Engine version, that's where. It's the only version that scrolls.
I feel this game wasn't as popular because it is a fairly slow-moving game and it has repetitive music.
I think it would have been more popular if it were a bit older than it is because it just kind of looks dated.
Joe, I for once agree with you, I think. Anyways, I've always liked this game and I have some really good memories playing it back in 1991 when I owned my first Sega Genesis. This game sadly doesn't get much attention these days, and you won't ever see it in anybody's top 10 list.
Is it in your top 10 list?
No. But that doesn't mean it doesn't kick ass. It might be in my top 20, I think.
As we said earlier, this game was ported to a few different systems. Here's a quick comparison.
Alright Joe, one more game left to cover today. What's it gonna be?
One of the best full motion video, or FMV for short, games ever made in the history of forever. Road Avenger for the Sega CD.
Oh yeah, that game definitely needs more love. Let's get to it.
Okay. Road Avenger is known as Road Blaster FX in Japan. This game is not to be confused with the Atari game also called Road Blasters. They changed the name in the US to Road Avenger when they released it on the Sega CD.
And Road Avenger, in my opinion, is a much better name anyways.
It is actually a Laserdisc based game when it was originally in the arcades. This game is crazy. You're just out for a Sunday drive in your new sports car, but you must have unknowingly cut someone off because everyone else seems to have it in for you for no reason. Whoops, guess those girls won't ever be doing any shopping ever again. I hope they didn't like being alive.
Here's one of at least 4 helicopters you take out with your car during the game.
Look at these guys. Do they even know what a price of a barrel of oil is these days? This fuel truck even tips over in a vain effort to stop you. These guys really mean business, and that is what helps make this game so awesome. Wolf Team also completely redid the sound from the arcade, and it is much more active and exciting now.
It makes this game tremendously better.
The game has a really cool opening song by Jaywalk, a band in Japan who usually only do love ballads. This is definitely their best song ever. I probably guessed wrong on some of those lyrics, but that's what they should be. Maybe I'll cut through the park here to avoid some of the mean people on the street. Too bad I really suck at driving. Oops. Sorry, kids. Oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap! Woo! Sorry, random stranger.
Catch you later, Mr. Crispy.
A drive in the country might be nice. Wait, did that boat just fly over the road in an attempt to get me? Yep, even people putzing around in boats desperately want you dead.
Sometimes I get so caught up with the on-screen action that I miss a quick time prompt.
Well, that's kind of how the game works.
Yeah, but I'd like to be able to sit back and watch the cartoon. Make it happen for me, Joe.
Well, there is a secret demo mode that you can enable, but I suggest you beat the game on your own first. It's really not that difficult. Man, everyone really has it out for me. Maybe I'll take a shortcut through the sewers. Holy crap! Look at all the traffic down here driving around. What the hell? Oh geez, even farmers want to kill me? There are versions for other systems like the PlayStation and the Saturn. This is the Saturn version here. The video is much better than the Sega CD, but the audio is pretty wimpy, just like the arcade. And they added some lame old crosshair. This version just isn't as intense as the Sega CD one. There's also a version for your iPhone or iPod Touch that's kind of hard to enjoy because of the lousy touchscreen controls. Also, all of the prompts are at the bottom of the screen, away from the action, so you gotta keep your eyes down there and you don't really get to enjoy the excellent cartoon action. It still has the wimpy original audio. This is the best cartoon game ever, much better than the ones you usually think about like Dragon's Lair.
And those are 4 games that everybody should definitely check out.
Agreed. Now Dave, which did you like better, Pikmin or Gain Ground?
Let me think here. I think I like Pikmin better, but...
Really?
Yeah, I did. Gain Ground's awesome, and if you could may have those two make love or something and have a little baby or something, that would be awesome. Or I could play Gain Ground in the Pikmin world.
There you go.
Well, what about you, Road Avenger or Ghostbusters?
Well, I think I like Road Avenger better. I like Ghostbusters definitely, but what I really want is a Ghostbusters game where I can drive the Ecto-1 around Road Avenger style to each ghostbusting job, presented in a 2D platformer style game, of course.
Oh, that would work awesome.
It would.
Well, anyways, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time, whenever that may be.
Probably next week.
Man, Joe, that is an awesome shirt.
Isn't it though?
It is, but didn't they sell it in adult sizes?
Shut up, this is all they had, okay? I'm giving the original Shinobi the love it deserves. I am totally proud to be wearing it.
Would you wear that outside of your house?
Not a chance.